Hi there and welcome. If you've been searching for answers to help your child with autism to live a better life, and you feel like you're stuck in this endless loop, this cycle of practitioner after practitioner, therapist after therapist, trying different supplements, maybe you ended up going to medications you didn't want to, and those aren't really helping anything because they're just masking symptoms, then you're in the right place because I am here to help answer any remaining questions you have about autism recovery, but also about the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program. I've just opened up enrollment and I have a special offer for you, which you can find at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. Learn all about it, hear from other parents that I've helped in over 40 countries worldwide now. And parents are having success that have a complete and thorough roadmap from A to Z. Because a lot of the time we're just told about maybe diet or a little bit of detoxification. And those things are helpful, but it's so much more than that. And that can stop you short of the results that you could have gotten if you knew what else to do. So I help fill in not only the remaining pieces that you've been missing, but I show you a sequential roadmap of how to do it the right way and the safest way because there is a sequence to it. Not only do you want that sequence for safety and the most effective results for your child, but it's also important to know what you're doing and to know what to do next. And that sequence gives you a step-by-step process, and that's what I offer you in the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program. And the reason these parents that I've helped have had success where they never had before, even many of them who have been on the autism journey for decades and had children who were in their 20s or 30s finally having success, then that's because we don't miss those important steps that most other people do. And I don't want to see you out there spending your time, wasting your time and your money, your resources, but also losing time with your child and time that your child could have been healthier, happier, have improved speech, improved focus, getting better grades in school, making friends where they couldn't before, being, able to stay calm and ultimately be happy because a lot of our kids are not. This was exactly my story too when my son was diagnosed with autism and I was told to drug him, try behavioral therapies and good luck. That, we would basically be managing symptoms the rest of his life. And I thought, okay, he's miserable. He was not happy. And it was hard on us, the tantrums and the inability to focus when we knew how brilliant he was. And the screaming stomach aches at 3 a.m., all of these things that go on for our kids with health and behavior are caused by underlying biological issues of toxins, pathogens, bad bacteria, co-infections. And I talked about all of these very thoroughly in the Autism Recovery Masterclass that I did the other day. If you missed it, please go back and watch the replay. It's available for a limited time right now. You can still watch it at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. That's also the page where you can hear success stories in text and in video from other parents I've helped. One mom, her name happens to also be Karen, and her son was 27 years old when she found me. He had been diagnosed, her son, at age 2. He had been, they had been trying everything for decades, literally 25 years, and not really gotten any results. Within 3 months in my program, her son is talking and reading books with her. Now, the definition of recovery is to regain health, and that is what he was doing. He was regaining health, getting those biological and underlying root causes out of the way so the symptoms could be alleviated. After at age 27, he's talking for the first time. You can listen to Karen. She says it was music to my ears. Not only is he talking, but he's reading books with her. I strongly encourage you to go listen to some of those video testimonials and success stories that parents have had that have worked with me. It's because they followed the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program step by step in the right order. They implemented, they took action, and they knew what to do and how to do it, because that's important too. I know we all lack support on this journey, and it can be really, really challenging. So basically, if you're not getting results, it is not your fault. It's because you haven't found the right resources yet. And you likely have you ever been given a road or a complete roadmap from A to Z? You knew what the path was, why you were doing it, how to use each supplement individually, how to give them to your child for their specific needs, because not everybody is exactly the same. And kids with autism are super, super extra sensitive. So we have to be very, very cautious with moving forward with them, with even diet alone, but especially when we get into any type of detoxification protocol or start killing off the pathogens and bad bacteria that are then going to leave more toxicity in their body as we're trying to get it out. So you have to know how to support that. Again, I talk about all of this in detail, explain it all in the Naturally Recovering Autism uh, membership program for sure, but also I went through it in the masterclass that I did the other day. And again, you can learn about the program and join, which basically all you have to do is choose there are two price options. Choose the one that works for you. Click on the link. Once you join, within 5 minutes, you'll have instant access to everything. And people wonder, well, what is that? How will I know what to do? In that first initial email that you'll have from me within 5 minutes, I guide you to how to start, and the Start Here page will give you an understanding of how things work. You'll know what first thing to do first. You'll know what to do. And you have the forum in there for 24/7 access to me to ask me your questions anytime that you have them. The program is very well laid out. It's been going for 8 years strong now. So I've helped even refine it, make it even better all the time. I'm constantly also keeping up on research and everything that's going on now for you in autism specifically, because there's a lot. And I want to make sure that you have the top line, current everything that you need to get, because my goal is to help you get the absolute best results for your child that you can. And if that's better sleep, better speech, better focus, better ability to stay calm and be happy, we want them to live to their full potential. And they deserve to, and they can. But you've got to know what to do. And I know that you have likely been out there searching for a long time. And again, it's not your fault. It's not your lack of commitment, because I went through that road myself. And it took me 10 years to figure all of this out. But today, my son's symptoms of autism are gone. I just wanted him to be happier and healthier and have friends. Now he's a college graduate. All of his symptoms are gone. He's calm and happy and so fun. Has tons of friends where he didn't before. He had graduated college with almost a straight A average. I mean, this is what we want for our kids. When he was a child, I wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to live independently. And that might be your fear too. Is that a big fear of yours? I know it can be for parents of children with autism. We want to get them to as healthy as they can be. And there are many people who have shared, and I'm grateful to them. And again, at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, you can hear from many of the parents that I've helped and what has transpired for their children from this program and from my help. And I think that's valuable for you to understand the possibilities. And many of them, again, who weren't speaking are now speaking. There's one mom, Mary, and she's actually not on that page, but if you're interested in listening to her share her entire story, it's really wonderful. And my podcast number 182, naturallyrecoveringautism.com/182. Mary talks about how her son, Kevin, at age 13, 3 years ago, was still hiding under the desk, screaming, biting, and kicking other children. 13, he's in middle school, big guy, right? Getting scarier. Mom's called daily from home or from work to come pick him up. She's missing work. Kevin's missing school. She's worried he's not getting educated. He can't make friends. It was crazy. She said, I've got to find something. And fortunately, she didn't give up. And when she she found me just searching on the internet and social media somewhere. She found me and she said, I've got to try something else. She said, I was at the end of my rope. So have you ever felt like you're at the end of your rope? We all have. And so Mary thought, I've got to see what this can do, because Kevin was not getting better, and she had been trying. She had been working with a functional doctor. She talks about this in the podcast for 4 years, not getting results. Now, in the first year she was in the program, Kevin had phenomenal results. So she stayed in. She's in her third year in my program. Kevin now is the teen leader of his summer youth camp. He has all these kids that love him. He has friends. She said, he's so happy now. And she said, and he's so calm. And, he's gotten his life back. And she had tried for years prior and only found results here. So I encourage you, because I've lived it and I don't want to see you running around trying to, figure it out on your own anymore, searching and trying all these practitioners and spending so much money. I know it's hard. There are parents taking second mortgages out on their homes for these therapies and practitioners and medications and supplements that aren't helping them. And when I figured it out with my son, I thought, I've got to share this. So it took me a year to put the program together 8 years ago, and now it's had so much success with thousands of parents. And I really, really want you to be one of the success stories, because you can be. And I truly believe that if you're willing to come in, join, implement the steps in the order they're in, and on your child's timeline, because there's no hurrying up with this, then you can get success. I truly, truly believe that, because I've seen it with so many people. And I know you might be, looking at me thinking, I have tried so many things, Karen. I've probably already done whatever you have. Well, people think that all the time. And then luckily, if I'm grateful, they join the program, trust, they come in, and now they've had the success they were looking for years. So I offer this to you right now because I'm here to support you as a parent of a child with autism. I see Janae. Hi there. You have a question? Um, Janelle, sorry. You just purchased organic lemon balm and DHA supplement for my three-year-old. Just want to confirm if this is good enough for calming, focus, and lemon balm and brain support DHA. So this is a great question. And there are so many supplements out there that I can't say, yes, that one's going to help, because there are so many bad supplements on the market. And then I had to weed out the 95% of bad ones to find the 5% of good ones. But also, as though DHA, which are omega-3s for everybody who doesn't understand that, DHA and things like that are very important for our children with autism, for all of us. But their body has to be able to digest the fats properly. And in the very beginning of the whole process and supporting detox pathways, their liver is congested. It's backed up with toxins, and it works with the gallbladder. Now, these things help to digest fats. And so if they're not working well, sometimes they're not absorbing the nutrition from the food or the supplements that they're being given. So we have to be making sure it's the most bioabsorbable kind of anything we take and the highest quality. But we also have to be sure that it's done in the right order. And so I don't want to see you, Janelle, losing time as well with your child, because even though it's an organic lemon balm and DHA supplement, that is not enough to get your child to the best results. And you want them to be able to focus better. And that, again, is very helpful. And if they're not showing nausea or digestive discomfort after you give it to them, and you're assured that it's a quality product, and I'm not here to answer every supplement question, because I research diligently everything that I use, and I won't comment on something I'm not 100% knowledgeable about, or because it could be a product that isn't bioabsorbable, meaning the body really can naturally absorb it well, or where your child is in the process. If their liver is still really backed up, they're not detoxifying well, then that needs to happen first to get the best results, which are also going to help your child's issues with focus, because it's, again, never just one thing. And again, if you missed the autism recovery masterclass that I did the other day, please go back and watch the replay while it is still available for just a few more days. Okay, it's going to expire, and I want to make sure that you understand these things in detail that I'm saying, where again in the masterclass I explain all of this and all of the four necessary stages to autism recovery. Because again, we can't just think we're going to do one or two things and that that's going to be some magic bullet, because there is no magic bullet. Okay, this isn't a band-aid, this isn't a quick fix, and we need to know what your child's unique needs are, and we have to meet all of them in order. Because sometimes parents come into the program and they get eager, they want to jump ahead. Well, I'm going to try this and then I'm going to try this. I'm like, no, no, no. Even for parents who are seasoned, as I call them, been on the journey for years or decades, I find that those detox pathways have not had the right binders in place. They haven't had enough of the good diet, or there are so many pieces with diet that they didn't know about, because it's much more than just removing sugar, processed carbohydrates, gluten, casein, modified, starches, basically, food dyes, all these, there are histamine triggers, oxalates. I mean, it just, right? We can drive ourselves crazy. So I help to clarify and simplify that process and help you understand what might be some of the underlying triggers and more foods that you need to know about. So you get a whole list of foods you can eat, as well as the ones to avoid, and especially the ones to look for the symptom increases, like anxiety, especially after your child eats, because those are good symptom cues for you. But then we need to stabilize, because even as we start healing the gut and strengthening it, it's going to be releasing it as we die off, as again I talked about in the masterclass. Again, if you missed the replay, it's at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, which you can also, that's the link also to join the membership program right now at a very special event price for you, which will be expiring in a few days as well. So watch the replay, join the program there, and that's also where you can read some success stories from other parents who have been in the program, and many are currently still in, and then also hear some short videos from some of those parents as well, so that you can get a better idea of that. But we want to be thorough. You're welcome, Janelle. I hope that was helpful. And I know that you probably just wanted to hear, yes, that's great. And if you give that to your child, their focus will improve. But I can't say that, because there are a lot of things that are contributing to your, is it a son? Yeah. To your son's or your daughter's focus issues, problems with focus. So, we've got speech, focus, behavioral, like tantrum outbursts and inability to stay calm and have mood stability, problems with sleep. I mentioned my son would wake up with screaming stomach aches at 3 a.m. There's constipation, digestive discomfort. There are the picky eaters. There are excessive anxiety and things that are caused from other co-infections and heavy metal toxins. So you don't want to fall short of the results that you could have gotten. You want to make sure that you have a very, very thorough and complete roadmap. And that is what I offer you in the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program. So you can learn all about, what it offers you, what you receive, how I support you. All of that is in the on the page at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, where you can also join right now. Again, so please take advantage of this special open enrollment and offer that I'm giving you right now. And I do this because I truly want to help you. I want you to join. I want you to take action. This is for parents, whether you're new to the journey or you've been on it for years. It's for you if you have been trying various things and not gotten the results you hope for. It's for you if you need a roadmap. And it's for you if you also are willing to take action and implement, because it does, the parent is the reason for the child's success. You are absolutely the key to your child's success. Studies even have shown now, multiple ones, that a parent's education and guidance and knowledge on the journey will make all the difference in significantly impacting their child's success level in the autism recovery process. And we don't know what your child's level of recovery will be exactly until everything has been covered from A to Z very thoroughly and in the right sequential order. This takes time and patience, but you do it on your timeline. Once you join, you'll have access to the program within 5 minutes. You'll have an email from me, which gives you your privacy protected login details for our membership site, which is privacy protected. And you get you'll have the roadmap to follow, know what to do. And then I also give you a lot of education and guidance so you know more about what's going on, things, symptoms to look for, things that I can help troubleshoot with you along the way. Because there is a lot around die-off symptoms, as again I talked about thoroughly in the masterclass the other day. If you just joined us and you haven't heard, please go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. Listen to the replay now if you'd like to. If you haven't heard it yet, or you want to review if you were there live with us the other day, it's also the link where you can join and where you can listen to other parents share their success stories, because I really want you to be one of those parents. I want you to get the ability for your child to focus and learn in school, because you have likely seen how brilliant they are. I know I did with my son. I knew how smart he was. But he would even say, in class and in therapy, he'd be like, "Mom, I want to, but I can't. Why can't I?" And honestly, it was heartbreaking for me to watch him and hear him say that. And I didn't know, and I wanted to help him, and I felt helpless, right? You feel helpless on this journey sometimes, don't you? You're not alone in that, and that's it. We just lack that roadmap and lack the right support. It's not the commitment that isn't there, but it's so important to have this, the process, and know what to do and have support along the way. Some parents ask, so when I join the program, do I need to purchase all of the supplements right up front? No, absolutely not. And I don't want you to, because many you won't need for months from now. You follow the roadmap one sequential step at a time. You do one thing. When you've done that and you're going well with your child with that, and I show you how to start it at the minimal dosage and how to watch what symptoms to watch for, why you only add in one new thing at a time. You wait a minimum of 2 to 3 days in between either increasing a dosage of something you're already on or adding in something new. Because if you move forward too quickly and new symptoms arise, it for two things is, one, you want to be able to watch for those symptoms and slow down, back off, reduce before things get heightened and worse. Because then we talked about PANS flare-ups, where the immune system gets overactive and then they get kind of anxious and wild, and their system is responding to all of the extra toxins in their body. Their immune system is overactive, and then we can have a longer time to take to calm it down. So you want to go slowly, one thing at a time. I give you the direct link to purchase what you need from, I don't sell them, from the websites where companies have given me, many of them, a discount code for you to use. And you purchase it when you need it, and you start it at its minimal dosage. So it takes you, many of those supplements you'll have for months before you need to replenish them. So, then you just move forward when your child's ready for the next one, then you can get the next one, but only when you're ready for it. So that helps spread the cost out too, because I know that everything can be costly, but in this program, in the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program, because I won't speak for other people's, in mine, in this one, ours, you can spread that cost out. You have a roadmap to follow to know what to do, to know how to use that, how to start at the very, very minimal dosage, which is very, very important again, because if you start with too much and do things too quickly, then you will have likely symptoms of higher symptoms of die off, and you don't want to go too quickly. Okay, so that's really important. You want to be able to move forward safely and the most effectively that you can, because die off is very likely to happen for but and so we want to make sure that you're knowledgeable enough, which I teach you in the program, how to stay at that balanced level and do our best as we can to not trigger something like a PANS flare or other things that can happen as well. You might have heard of mast cell activations. There's a lot of other things. So you're going to learn, you're going to become knowledgeable, and you have to know what you're doing here. In autism recovery, you as a parent, you need this education. And I'm here to help educate you on the steps moving forward. I don't want you to purchase or use 10, 5 supplements even at once, like right away. You need to space it out. So you purchase them when you need them. And that really helps along the way. And it's your child's timeline. People say, yeah, when do I need the next supplement? I teach you that of how you know it. And I kind of just mentioned that a little bit there. You're watching your child for symptoms, implementing slowly. All the supplements that I found that were the absolute best for our kids, I looked for in liquid or powder form because I know our kids, many won't take a pill or are maybe 3 years old and can't swallow a pill, right? That's common. But even with older kids, maybe they can't swallow or won't swallow pills. So there is the option of liquid and powder forms for many things. And if something that was absolutely the best for what our kids' needs with autism, our sensitive kids' needs with autism are, because it's very different than anything else. That's why I'm a researcher. I continue to constantly research autism specifically. And if something only came in a capsule form, then I show you how you can open it up and pour it, or you maybe start with a quarter of it or half of it, right? How much I'll teach you how to start it. Open it up though, and you can pour it into water or maybe if I tell you too, it's very important to know if you want to take a supplement with or away from food. But a lot of times you're not told that. Well, many of them don't work as effectively if they're taken with food, or others don't work as effectively if they're taken without food. So they're very important because otherwise you could just be giving your child supplements and you're just wasting money and you're not going to get the results you're looking for. So these things can be, if they're something you can mix in with a little food, then there's a little bit of something that you can mix it in with just to have them take it. I have a short video on the diet page where I show you how to make a smoothie with some powdered nutritional, very high quality powdered nutrition resources that I give you links to get on your own if you want them or when you want them. And so those can be added to a little bit of a smoothie especially in the beginning when your child's a picky eater, because while we're still healing their gut, they can be still quite a picky eater. And they again get addicted to foods like the opiates in things like gluten and casein, wheat and dairy products, and sugars, because those bad bacteria in their gut, like candida, are craving sugar. So it makes your child crave sugar. So that's another piece of that as well. Um, let's see if anybody else jumped in here. Hi, Shonda. Nice to see you. Welcome. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I answered any remaining questions you might have had. I know there's that question about supplements and the cost of and where you get them. So hopefully that answered it for you. You have a step-by-step roadmap. You have a sequential order to follow it in. It's done on your child's timeline. There is no hurrying up. You do it in the sequential order as your child's body allows. Some people can move forward a little bit faster because their child can tolerate things a little bit faster. There's no needing to go fast here either. I want you to really understand that. It's kind of a thing where slow helps you go faster, because if you go slowly, you watch for those symptoms, and if they arise, you slow down, let your child's body kind of calm down a little bit before resuming anything, then that helps you keep moving forward. If you go for really fast, give too much too quickly, then they can end up in these die-off reactions, heightened symptoms, worsened behaviors, and then you have to take longer to to reduce and slow down to let their body catch up. So it's kind of one of those things where going slow helps you go faster, which is a good thing for us, right? Because you've had enough chaos, you've had enough not knowing what to do, you've had enough scare, because I know it can be scary, and that's why not only do I give you the roadmap, but I educate you. And so you know what's going on, learn what to look for, what to do when things come up. And then, yes, you have a lot of support in the program. There are two things. There's the frequently asked question page. There are the monthly live calls where there's an open chat. The whole community comes together. You ask me your questions, I answer them. They usually turn into mini trainings, which they are. And then anytime, because that's once a month, a live call. Well, what if you have a question during the month? You don't want to have to wait, right? Or wait for an appointment like you might with a practitioner or somebody, or they say, oh, well, why don't we make you an appointment to come in a week? Well, you can't wait a week if you need a question answered now. So I offer the forum, privacy protected forum inside the membership site. You can ask, like I said, the program is very laid out very well. I've been able to troubleshoot issues and clarify things over the years because it's been going for 8 years strong. And if I saw parents were having a specific question over and over about something, I made a PDF guide for it and I put it right there, maybe on the page, either the detoxification page or the supplement page where it belonged, so that you have that guidance and you go, oh, okay, that's what's going on. But if you can't find your answer and you need to ask me, then you ask me in the forum. And then I get back to you within about 24 hours. So, you'll get support along the way anytime you need it, to help you troubleshoot something or whatever your questions are. Because I know it's really, really important to have support on this journey. And I've been in programs where they had you pay extra for that kind of support, and it, got really expensive, a lot extra. And that's really common. And for me, I just wrap it all into this, and I'm offering this program to you at a special gift event price right now. So take advantage of it. The reduced offer is for people who are willing to be committed. Take action now, because I wanted to offer that for a specific amount of time during the event process. So in a few days, that link will expire and the price will go back up to the regular price. So I want you to have the opportunity to make that decision now, because the best decision you make right here, right now, is the best decision for you, whatever that may be. So naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go is a link to join, and where we have it laid out where you learn more specifics about the program. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to post them in the chat for me here right now, and I will ask them for you. I want to make sure you get your questions answered. And Jacqueline, good afternoon to you too. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. And I know there are a lot of people listening in right now. And again, if you have any particular question that you want to ask, go ahead and do so, because I want to make sure that you have any remaining questions you answer and you feel confident and comfortable when you make your decision to join the program. Because we do our best to answer those questions and support you along the way. So I don't want you still stuck on the fence trying to figure it out and not knowing why. There are almost 2,000 people that have been in the program at this point, and they've had success, and they've had the roadmap, and you likely haven't yet. And that's probably why you're here. And so I want to help you get that success you're looking for and truly help your child to live their best life. I mean, that's ultimately what this is about, supporting you as a parent on the journey, because I know it is very challenging. Remember, I have lived it personally myself. I know what it's like. Those sleepless nights, the fear about their future. Will they ever live independently? My son lives 2 hours away from me, independently with two of his closest buddies. He has, these amazing, wonderful friends, which I'm grateful for too. They're all, they're great. And so he's so happy and so fun to be with now. And it was used to be so challenging and heartbreaking for me to watch him literally suffering, and having such a hard time, and tantrums and inability to focus and sleeping issues, and and now it's the complete transformation that he's had. And what I've seen in so many parents that I have shared this program with, even where they hadn't had any results before and had worked, like Mary, remember podcast 182, you can go listen to her share. She had tried for 4 years with a functional medical practitioner and spent a lot of money. Other people, Nanti is another one who's shared, she was spending $95 a week at speech therapists and not getting really much results. That was just one of the therapies she was doing, so that was $400 a month. And then she comes in to this program. She ended up not even needing to keep her son in speech therapy, and he has never had to go back. Nanti shares in a short video also at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. She and I have also done a podcast together about independence, because she was very concerned about her son's independence someday. And now he's fully independent, speaking clearly where he wasn't before. He's in regular classroom, accelerating. I mean, this is what we want. We want our kids to be able to be themselves, and they don't have to live uncomfortably. They don't have to suffer, and there are answers. And so that's what I'm here to offer you in the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program. It is by far the best way that I can help you, and it will answer all of your questions around autism recovery, what to do when, what supplement to use for what, and when to use that. Because as Janal just said, what about DHA? Well, yeah, it's great if your child is taking a quality product, if they're absorbing it properly now, which we often don't know, if they're not having digestive issues that it's causing because their body isn't prepared to digest that fat, even if it's a good fat. All those things are so important to know. And it's never, again, just one thing. You want to help your child focus? Absolutely. Well, one supplement may or may not make a difference. If it's a good supplement and your child's body is absorbing it, it could. But I'll promise you, there is still much more that we can do to get much better results around that focus. I mean, I've seen kids go from special ed classes. Diana, naturallyrecoveringautism.com/Diana. Diana shares her story. Her son was nonverbal at age 4 when she found me. He was in special ed class, would hide behind her when she would take him to school, terrified of the other kids, wouldn't learn in school in the special ed class. He was just afraid of everything. Today, after she joined the program, within a year, her son is fully talking. He has been put in regular class, not in special ed anymore. The teacher says he is the leader of the class. He has friends. He's happy. He's calm. And he's, again, fully verbal. And, this is something she was fearful of his future. And she actually, and I don't always say this for everybody because it doesn't happen for everybody, and that's okay. The goal is the best result possible, and even better, any type of better is better, because okay is not just good enough. But Diana's actually had a professional removed her son's diagnosis of autism, and she shares that in that interview if you want to listen to it, because the symptoms are gone. He doesn't have it anymore. That's where people say autism recovery. That's like my son. But I know everybody's level of recovery is different, and the definition is to regain health. So I completely understand that, but we can help your child to live a better life, and that's really the full-on goal that we do want. Um, Jacqueline, I know my daughter has severe yeast overgrowth. Yeah, very, very common in autism. Would you plan, uh, what plan of care would be to treat the yeast or after using PBX? Okay, so again, sequence is important. Um, Yeast candida is one of the hardest things that it took me to figure out in my son's recovery process. I tried so many things that just didn't work. They were short term. Some things, even like diflucan, they can make it worse, or natural supplements, all various herbals and things like that. Well, I found it just was kind of a short term fix and it came back later. There is a specific elixir, and I'm not going to say what it is right now because I don't want you jumping to use it because the die off could be severe if your child is not ready for it. But we use it in a specific sequence in the program. And the reason for that is because we have to make sure that your child's detoxification pathways in their body, which are, they're things, that you've probably heard of the MTHFR gene mutation, things like that, right? Well, all that basically means is the detox pathways are not working properly. Well, many of them are not in children with autism. So we want to strengthen those first. Our first priority is to strengthen that foundation. So, between diet and initial supplements that are started in a very specific order, we do that. And as we get them more stable and strengthened, then when it's time in the sequence, then we start with the elixir where we're actually targeting the pathogens a bit more like the candida. Because if we go in and we start fighting it right away, which is what a lot of people do, or what even practitioners are having kids do, and that can throw them into one of those PANS flares that I talked about, where the immune system gets overactive and the body is just going into, like, basically what PANS is. It's an acronym, and I discussed it in the masterclass. Again, the replay is available, and I discuss everything in detail at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. You can still listen to the replay for a limited time. So do that if you need to review it again, if you were there live even, or if you want to just listen to it now if you haven't yet for these explanations. But PANS is an acronym, but it basically means when the immune system becomes so overactive from a trigger. Now, it could be an underlying co-infection like mold and Lyme are very, very common PANS triggers, but also rapid die-off. What happens if we do things too quickly, especially start fighting pathogens, targeting them and killing them before the body has had support in place first and has strengthened a bit? Your child can go into a severe PANS flare or die-off reaction, which is like heightened OCD, heightened anxiety, troubles with sleep, increased stimming, loss of sleep, loss of focus. All of these things maybe you had made some progress for. So we want to go as slowly as possible. And again, where the sequential order is so, so important. And this is all for you in the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program. I show you the exact sequence, how to stabilize your child's body. You'll know you when you are able to get to that supplement and your child's body is strengthened enough, you'll know when it's time. So that's how it all works, is because it's where it is in the sequence. Have you reached that place yet? And maybe you haven't, because some of the first couple of support supplements you had to slow down and stabilize better, which is great, because if you didn't know about those and how you need to support those detox pathways and support their liver, the organ of detoxification, very congested with toxins in children with autism. All these need to be stronger and able to detoxify better and have some various different quality toxin binders in place, but other things that will help support, strengthen the detox pathways as well. All of these things are so important before you start targeting and fighting things directly, because PANS is basically the immune system begins attacking its own tissue, including the brain tissue. And this is why we see such extreme behaviors, because now the brain is extra inflamed, because children with autism already have inflammation on the brain. They just do. And inflammation is a big core piece of what we do in this entire program. Everything is about reducing that inflammation. But again, going back to the cause of that inflammation. Why is there so much inflammation on the brain? Their gut is inflamed, which helps inflame the brain. They have heavy metal toxicity inflaming the brain. They have pathogens like we talked about again in the masterclass. Go watch the replay if you haven't, or if you want to review while it's still available just for a few more days. The pathogens, mold biotoxins are huge. They also keep the gut ill. So might think, I've done all this great work with diet and even done some detoxification, but my child just doesn't seem to get better. Well, the mold, Lyme, parasites, all of these things are still harming the gut. They're still causing inflammation, still causing internal harm to multiple systems of the body. And so these are why your child has the behaviors they have, the tantrums, the anxiety, or the inability to focus. Why can't they focus? Because if your brain is too toxic and inflamed, it cannot function well. One great story, quick story. There was a boy diagnosed at age 2 with autism, and his parents, when he was in first grade, were told he just has a really low IQ because he wasn't learning. He couldn't learn. They tested him, tried. He just has a really low IQ. He's just not very smart, basically. Well, fast forward a little bit. Mom figured it out over time, did this, worked with all the detox, but especially mold and Lyme, which is a huge piece here. So he had such intense mold and Lyme issues going on. When those were taken care of, I'm going to tell you that boy today is in medical school. I think he's about 20 or 21 years old now. He's in medical school because he wants to be an immunologist to help other children not suffer the way he had because of all the doctors that he saw that didn't help him. He wants to be one that can help. And that's how I feel. I thought my son had autism for a reason. It wasn't by chance to me. I don't believe in chances or coincidences. And you're here right now for a reason. I know that Jacob had gotten autism so that I would do what I did, because I'm not one to sit back and just go, oh, well, okay, I'll just manage his symptoms, or let's give him drugs like all the practitioners and therapists told me to do. It's like, no, I want to find answers. I don't want to give him harmful drugs with side effects or mask symptoms, because that's not taking care of the underlying problem. He's not going to get rid of the problem if we're just masking things, or if he's getting worse because nobody has shown me what to do properly. No roadmap ever. Did you ever get a roadmap before? Have you ever had a full, complete roadmap? Likely not, right? And that's what is so scary. I think of all the parents out there being led astray, like I was. I fortunately said, I'm going to figure this out. And I worked and researched thousands of hours of research into it. Now, I'm offering this to you, my saving you the time and the expense of figuring it out for yourself. I did all of this. I got way more than for my son than I even imagined. I mean, his symptoms, it took time. Like I said, it took me a decade. It will not take you as long as it took me, because I didn't have the roadmap I'm offering you. I had to figure it out every step, like you've likely been doing, and things haven't been working because you didn't have a full roadmap. You didn't know what you're doing. You didn't have the education. I'm here to educate you as well as give you the roadmap, because you really need to know what you're doing so you can do it safely and get the absolute best results for your child. Things will come up along the way. You need support from somebody who has lived it, somebody who researches, somebody who understands what you're going through. And I've worked with parents for 8 years in this program now, thousands in over 40 countries. It's available online anywhere in the world. And they've had such success because now I feel like Jacob ended up with this, with autism, so I could figure it out so that I could come and be the person I am now offering this to you. I'm a researcher. I have a background in craniosacral therapy, studying the brain, but autism is very specific. you have to have the countless hours of the research are so important. That's why I don't want you to have to try and figure it out anymore, and why I'm handing it to you in the program, because figuring out the supplements, the order to do them in, what's going on, when to do it, why, all of that, there's a lot to it. Took me a decade, but I just, now my son's life has completely transformed. It's been 18 years now. He's 28 years old now. He wasn't diagnosed till he was 10 years old. Uh, we started taking him to therapists when he was 5 because we knew something was up. Early 2000s, right? But we're like, what's going on? And one therapist after the other would say, well, it's just a discipline issue. His behaviors are because you as parents, me and my husband, are not giving him firm enough discipline. If you would give him firmer discipline, he wouldn't behave this way. So, these are the things that you need to do to help, discipline him. And I thought, I think I'm doing an okay job. I'm not perfect, but I mean, there's something more than this. 5 years of this, on and on, no answers, no help. Finally, age 10, one therapist said, "I think he has autism." I was like, "What?" And back then, I was like, I'd studied the brain, knew a little bit about autism, but not very much at all. And, and he said, I don't really even have any books or information for you. You'll need to go, research it for yourself. Well, fortunately, I'm a researcher. And fortunately, with my background in craniosacral therapy and studying the brain, I would take my courses still back then. I was still in some of the courses, and I was going up to Berkeley, California. It's a big college town. I'm sure you've heard of Cal Berkeley, right? Because where I lived in a small town, smaller town, they didn't have any books at the bookstore on autism. And I was like, wow, well, I'm researching this, and internet didn't have much back then, although you can't believe everything on the internet either. So I was in Berkeley, and I walked up to this. There are tons of little bookstores there. And so I walked up to this one small one. I remember I walked in and I said, "Do you have any books on autism?" And the lady said, it was a small bookstore too. And she said, "Yeah, the owner's son has it. So we have a few." And the first one I picked up, I was just like, I was reading about my son. I thought, oh my gosh, this is what is going on for him. And then I started thinking, well, what do you do? And when I took him to finally a specialist who diagnosed him, yes, he had, okay. She said, I don't really have that much you can do. You can try some social therapies. And then the therapist said, you really should drug him because he has such extreme anxiety that you're doing him a disservice for not drugging him. They really told me I was being a bad parent for not drugging him. This is what parents get when they get a diagnosis. I'm like, no, I'm going to figure this out. And I did try for a long time, like various things. And I figured, I realized they don't know what they're doing. Even well-meaning people, you have to research, you have to take the time. And it takes a lot of time to research. And a lot of practitioners just don't have or take the time to do it. And so that's what I do. I research and I researched and researched. And so I have those answers now. And I really, I put everything into my heart and soul into the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program. And it has helped so many parents worldwide. And I believe it can help you. So take advantage of this right now, please. Join it while it is available at especially this reduced event price that I'm doing as a gift for you, being a committed parent, showing the commitment to be here to learn. If you missed the Autism Recovery Masterclass live that I did just a few days ago, please go back and watch the replay. Or if you want to review it, the replay is available again at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, but just for a very limited time. So don't miss that. And the link to join is also going to expire at that as well. So go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, and all of it's there in one place for you. And once you click on the link to join, within 5 minutes, you should have an email from me that gives you your privacy protected login details and shows you how to get started right now. You have instant access to the entire program, but again, don't look at everything else that you're gonna do later on right now, because everybody moves forward at a different pace. That's why I open up the whole program. But what I want you to do is just start at step 1, okay? But there's education there for you to guide you. I'm there to guide you. The forum is there for you to ask me questions in. And if for any reason within 5 minutes you don't see that email from me after you join, then check your spam folder, make sure it didn't go in there and get lost, or go to naturally recovering or support at naturallyrecoveringautism.com, and we're happy to help troubleshoot anything for you as well. But within 5 minutes, you can have instant access and get started right now. Hopefully this has been helpful to answer any questions you have and get you off the fence, because I want you to be able to make a clear decision now and join this wonderfully amazing group of kind, sincere, and committed parents that are in the membership program now, and be part of our community of parents who are taking action and getting results. And please make sure you take advantage of the program now. Make that decision, because the decision you make for yourself right now is definitely the right decision. Right decision. Whatever you do right now is right for you. So uh, jump on that, naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, take fast action, and then start implementing, and let's see what results transpire for your child. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for being here and taking your time to learn again. I hope I've answered any questions that you have that were remaining that might have kept you on the fence. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside and helping you get the very best results for your child in autism recovery, whatever they may be for them, and to be able to support you as a parent on this journey, because you absolutely deserve it. Do not forget to take care of yourself along the way. And this helps you do that as well, because you deserve that support and that clear, concise roadmap that you'll have, so that you can get rid of that chaos and confusion and have the clarity that you deserve. So, hope this has been helpful. Thanks again for being here. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the inside.